culture, whether it's millennials or Gen Zs, we all have seen your characters, we love you, we keep saying your dialogues. How does it feel?
As cliche as it sounds, but it just feels like I just gave my first shot yesterday, because that's the kind of energy I have inside me. So I think I still have that that fire, that want, that need, that that greed of wanting to just be in front of the camera. So today I think I'm feeling honored and humbled, because obviously I'm so grateful to PVR and all of you, to Niharika, to everyone who's actually thought of having this festival for all my films, because I still can't believe it's actually going to be 25 years. But I'm so happy that everyone's going to get to watch all the fun movies, as well as some films that I feel deserve so much more at that time are going to get it now, because they're all going to come and watch it. Again. So I feel really, really happy that I'm here, and we're going to talk about my movies and how I enjoyed playing those characters. Very, very excited.
I know, I'm very glad you said that, because many of your films you, I'm sure, would have wanted for people to see again, and we're getting a chance to actually be able to do that on the big screen. We're talking of today. This
authenticity. We wanted to shoot the film in a small town in England, and it was a story about that. But the way Hansal wanted to shoot it, we were like, we can't have people speak in Hindi, the local people living there. So we said, let's make a Hindi and English and an English film, but let's stick to its truest form. So somehow I just wanted to do it. I thought after 25 years, if it's not now to experiment and do something different, it's going to be never. And I've always actually tried to do that with films like Chameli and Dev, very early on in my career. So it's no different now that on its 25th year, if, I would want to do something different. Because every other film, the commercial genres like The Crew and Singham and everything is so much a part of my DNA, and it's always going to be a part of me. And, that's going to be life. But I also want to do things and try out different things, sometimes as an actor as well. So it's important to strike that balance, and I'm happy I've done that, because people are watching that version of the film, of the English film, and loving it. So it's a sense of, it's a good feeling to know that, okay, people will go to brave out different films as well.
Lovely. This whole thing about watching films has a lot to do with the heart. We love it, but there's a business aspect to it as well, and this is where I want to draw in Kamal. This trend that we see today of films being re-released, why do you think that's gaining momentum?
Well, I mean, one is, sometimes films get released and they don't find the right audience. And people discover them when they watch it on television, through streaming platforms or linear television. And because cinema going is such a differentiated experience, when you bring them back, there is this positive cycle. Like, we keep talking about streaming versus theaters, but these re-releases, the ones which are doing well, is a great example of a positive symbiotic relationship between streaming and theaters, because these films have been discovered on streaming. So Tumbad, which has been available for maybe 6 or 7 years, doing these sort of numbers like a brand new film, is something which we wouldn't have thought or imagined 3 or 4 years back. So clearly, is the streaming, the fan base, the quality, appreciation, word of mouth, all of that is contributing to the success. But this is one variable. For Laila Majnu, it could be another variable, because the actress suddenly has become extremely popular after Animal, so that's another variable. We as exhibitors, frankly, we like all sorts of films, whether it's a re-release, it's a new film,
I'm sure.
It's a niche film, it's a commercial film. We want to be of service to all segments of moviegoers, cinegoers. And to that end, pre-release is an important part of the strategy. And this is a trend here to stay.
Lovely. I think a segue to my question to Niharika. You know, like you said, we love all sorts of films, and we of course have the Kareena Kapoor Khan Film Festival, but you have a lot of other exciting festivals planned as well. Would you like to speak about those?
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the process of curating this re-releases and the film festivals, and we're now like Kamal Osha mentioned, and we've been talking about it. Re-releases initially were meant to be one thing, but given the success, we want to now adopt a lot of strategy behind them and make them a part of our mainstream programming, and that's an endeavor that we're really pursuing now. So in addition obviously to this festival, we're doing an A&R festival this weekend as well, which celebrates his 100-year contribution to cinema. We are looking at some genre-based festivals as well, like a Halloween festival. Because obviously horror is the new thing, but I think we believe that film festival will do well. In terms of re-releases, we're also trying to understand the current trends. Are there certain nostalgic films that people want to watch in the cinema? And again, it is a result of films like Rockstar doing well. So it's identifying those films.
Then like Niharika just said, I've done 67. I didn't even know that. I think after a point, you just lose count as what number film it is.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Which is the film you've seen most, your own film? Maximum rewatches, or?
Oh God, I don't know. Maybe it would be, I think, Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham. I think just as half the world has, I think I'm pretty much a fan of that film as well, because I love the idea of family, tradition, just that warmth. It gives you that warm feeling. I think that's what everyone kind of loves, and that's why it's, I think, one of the most loved films also.
I think, Kareena, you must also be given credit for giving us a prototype of a Hindi film heroine that we keep seeing versions of. So you played Geet and you were Pooh, and after that there are these so many characters in different films, even now with varying percentages of the Geet quotient and the Pooh quotient. What do you make of it today with your experience and the benefit of hindsight when you rewatch, say, Pooh or Jab We Met? Did you ever imagine that it's going to be such an integral part of popular culture?
Not at all. I think when we were doing Pooh, at least I was following just Karan's instructions. I mean, I knew it was like a super fun character, but no one really thought that 25 years later you'll still have characters based around Pooh who are like her. That was never really the intention, because I think when you set out with an intention of saying that we have to make this character great, or this has to be amazing, it's going to be fab, and think that. I think it just happens. These magic has to be, it just has to happen, You never really know when you're creating it. And with Geet it was the same thing, because I was shooting Tashan simultaneously. And Tashan was like a really big film because it had Akshay Kumar, it had Anil Ji, it had Saif Ali Khan, and it was a YRF film. Whereas Jab We Met was like, it was more like, it was like we were new, and Imtiaz had done one film, and there were never really any big names attached to it at that point. So I was always like, I'm like, Tashan is going to be amazing, and I'm working on this body and going to do my action film, and I would just like, come on the set, but my focus was Tashan. But I didn't really know that what was happening, and then Jab We Met just released, and not that Tashan isn't special, but people just love Jab We Met more than that. So when you think that, everyone's going to watch this, but everyone watched that. So there was no real plan that, it's going to be amazing. I was also a bit like, no one really thought that. So it just happens. I think magic should just, happen. It can't be planned, and we say it can be created, but it's just
This one I completely get you, because another thing that wasn't planned and it happened and it felt like magic was the whole Sananana trend. Suddenly the song
like 18, 20 years.
And we were all waiting for you to probably do that reel or trend. What did you make of it? Were you surprised?
No, I was just like, oh God. But though, I mean, I think it really is an iconic song because of the way Santosh shot it. There was something very raw but yet sexy about it, and everyone wanted to see it. Was like, this quintessential heroine who was, the classic under, the waterfall and being fun, and people connected to that energy, I feel, somehow. And I'm so happy that Ashoka is part of the re-release list, because it truly is one of my most favorite movies. Because, I mean, I was like, I think 20, and it was obviously my first actual film which I did with Shah Rukh, because in K3G I was an opposite Shah Rukh. So for me, Ashoka will have amazing memories, and I think the music, look at it, and like you said, the trend. So I think people are going to come to the theatre and going to watch it, because the music from Raat Ka Nasha to San Sanana, it was all just, it was so ahead of its time, I think.
Super. A lot of filmmakers that you have worked with, your co-stars, have on record said that, listen, Kareena is spontaneous. Like the camera's on and she's another person and you don't know where that's coming from. I know you cannot ask a magician, batao bhai apne tricks. But honestly, I mean, you of course have it in your genes, that's no surprise. But what do you do, especially with your dialogues and your delivery? Because you almost make it your own in a way that today we find it so hard to believe that you're not Pooh or that you are not Geet. How is that possible?
I think half the decade went where people thought I was Pooh, and like I lived like her and had all these couture clothes and thought that I was so cool and went on, whatever, okay, that's Bebo. Yeah. And then the other half of the decade went on with people, believing like I'm the Bhatinda ki Sikhni.
You never stopped talking.
Yeah, I never stopped talking. But maybe I'm a mix of both, people who know me. But I think it's not about that. It's about that, like I said, that I'm so passionate about acting, and also have to credit so many of my directors and, the actors who've been so amazing in so many movies, like whether it was Omkara, also that's playing at the festival now. I think, like Saif was just out of this world. And, I had a trial and I called, it's just an instance, like I called everybody. Like I said, it's such a good performance, so I'm going to call all the directors, from like Mani Ratnam to everybody, all the directors. I'm going to have this trial and call all the directors, because I think I've done really well in this movie. So I had this trial in Film City and everybody was there, and of course Vishal and, Coco and Vivek and everyone were there, and Saif was also there. And I was like excited that they're going to watch me as Desdemona, because Dolly Mishra is like, she was one of the most, actually Shakespeare never really wrote too many female characters, so it was like such a special character. So I, called all the directors and made them sit and said, okay, now this is it. And in an interval, everyone came out and was like, yeah, really nice, really nice. We loved everyone, and like Saif was amazing. And then the movie ended, and everyone was like, you were fab, but where's Saif? Where's Saif? Where's Saif? And I was like, what has happened? I got everybody to praise me, and then suddenly everyone just flocked to Saif and was praising him. But so I have to credit a lot of my films and actors bounce off each other's energy. So I think great films like Omkara or Jab We Met, we've always bounced off each other's energy. Whether it was Amir in Three Idiots also. So famous scenes, you need to take from them as well. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank all my actors, in all these wonderful films, whether all of them, because it's just, without them, none of these films, whether it was Omkara, Jab We Met, any of them that's playing Ashoka would not be what it was without them.
Oh, lovely. Since you thank your co-stars, any plans of coming back with Saif on screen?
Hopefully soon. I would love to work with him. I mean, right now he's like also going to taste blood, because he's coming for the first time in a Telugu film that's releasing next week. So I think that people are really excited. So I would love to do something with him soon, hopefully.
Lovely. Niharika, Karina spoke about how sometimes you just don't know what becomes a trend. Have the star power, right? I mean, the energy of this hall changed when you walked in. If anybody looks at your filmography, it's an enviable mix, like I said, of just the right balance. The commercial hits are there, the critically acclaimed ones, a few duds here and there, but every time your performance has stood out. And what's also amazing is while you've done the, like the Buckingham Murder, Chameli, Omkara, but you also have been part of films that clearly center around the male character, the hero, and you've held your own. I just want to understand what you thought while saying yes to those projects, because if you wanted, you could have said, why should I take a step back? I mean, the story should revolve around with me and I want a headline project.
I think in 25 years, one has to think of when we're signing films when we were younger, when we were like 17, 18. It was always about proving yourself, wanting to, just be in every film. And then after a decade, if you sustain, it's also about the question of reinvention, which is very scary in an industry like this, like male-dominated and whatever. But we've, over the years, had a lot of brave actresses as well, apart from me, who've also taken big strides. So, while straddling the fact that I've done films with the big superstars and, all those are successful films, but I've also had a career which I've simultaneously done to prove myself as an actor. Because I think the longevity of an actor is only possible if they also repeatedly prove their talent. Apart from the X factor that I feel an actor needs to have. Yeah. And that I believe, I don't know how it is, but I like to say, you either have it or you don't. And that's just the truth of the way it is. X factor combined with talent is going to take you. And of course, 30% of luck.
Yeah.
Luck is also important. But I feel more than that, it's just, it's straddling the fact. And for me, it's always been every 5 years, I've always looked back and said, now what am I supposed to do? To try and do something new. Because it's not about just being there and being part of the successful films. It's about having and leaving a legacy. Yeah. And that's what's been, because I do come from a family where I've been challenged and always felt like they're so amazing, but I need to leave my mark somewhere. तो ये longevity नहीं होती अगर वो सोच नहीं होता that कि ये करना है, कैसे करना है, how else am I going to last? Otherwise, then there would every 10 years there's somebody new. But so sustaining it is the main thing. And for me, that is why I have to have choices of Buckingham Murder at the same time of Singham, at the same time of Crew, or a film like Jaane Jaan on the streaming platform, which I feel that if it would have come in the theatres would have been fab. Which I don't know, I hope it comes. I don't know what the deal is if we can, since it was a streaming film. Because I feel it did so well for the streaming platform, it could have done well in the cinema.
You need to have the streaming guys also sitting. They control the rights.
Exactly. So I think that it's just, you have to try and do different things.
Yeah. Guys, I'm having, like she said, 30% luck. Today I have the 100% luck because I'm, of course, moderating this conversation, but I'd like to open it up to all of you to